We start to wind down 2025 in Sarasota, you may be wondering what has been happening in the real estate market and what this means for 2026. So stay tuned. We're going to review the latest statistics on the Sarasota real estate market. Then we're going to take a look at a smaller piece of the market east of 75, and then finally the neighborhood of Artistry Sarasota. Let's start by seeing what has been happening in October for Sarasota County. So check this out. With all of the negative news that you may be hearing about real estate, I bet you didn't realize that in October, the number of closed sales is actually up year over year in both single-family homes and in condos. In fact, single-family homes are up over 29.7%, and condos are actually up over 23%. Now, the median price is a different story. That has gone down year over year, but as you can see in another chart I will show you, it's actually holding steady month over month. Yes, time to contract is up. However, average is about 61 days, and that's still not the same as the pre-pandemic numbers, which were much higher than that. Month supply is also going up again, and we're at a fairly balanced market right now, but I think that number is going to continue to shift as we go into the new year, and we're going to shift back to a buyer's market. Now let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into October. So active listings have been on the climb, and I believe this is going to continue into our season through January and February. And if it does, it will definitely swing towards a buyer's market. Pending sales actually fell off in October. This isn't unusual as we approach the holidays. This just means that we're going to see a slight decrease in closing in the next couple of months. As I mentioned before, closed sales in October are actually up. So buyers were taking advantage of this because they could take their time kind of combing through the inventory. And that is going to start to change. So from what I'm hearing and what you'll hear is that the market is going to change and buyers are going to have to be a little bit less picky. Speaking of inventory, check out this chart. Inventory has continued to drop and buyers have a little bit less to choose from. However, I think we will continue to see this trend change as we get closer to the beginning of 2026. And then speaking of home value, this is what everybody is curious about. Looking at this chart from NAR's Realtor Property Resource of median estimated value, when we zoom into October, you can see that prices stayed steady from September. In February of 2024, the median value peaked at $498,540,000 for Sarasota County. And then if we fast forward to August of this year, at $446,740, we saw the lowest median value for the year. Then in September of 2025, this number saw a slight increase to $447,320. In October, we saw another very slight uptick to $447,340. If the predictions are correct, we should see this trend upward continue. Now, for those of you who are my neighbors in Artistry Sarasota, let's take a look at what's happening here. So you can see from this chart, we have 8 active listings on the market, and they range from my listing at 9008 Bernini Place, that's a 2-bedroom with a den, a pool, a fenced backyard, and an outdoor kitchen for $795, which is a super value, all the way up through 1.499, which is at 8969 Bernini Place, a 4-bedroom, 5-bath home. Our inventory in Artistry, if you've been following me, had been hanging right around 11 listings in the neighborhood that we were averaging, and now we're down to 8, and I predict that number's going to go up as we see season come into play. Now for pending properties, you can see here that there's 5 pending properties, and they range in value from $915, and then everything else was over $1 million. Most of them only have the community pool, and there's one that has a private pool. And if we look at days to contract, I always find this interesting. And you can see that 9048 Bernini Place and 8904 Bernini Place both had well over 200 days to contract. Now, some of these listings were new construction, and that's the reason why those numbers are so high. But interesting enough, there was one on Mondrian and one on Artisan Way. You can see the numbers days to contract were 11 and 19. So very interesting differential there. Sold statistics, what we're showing here is the past 30 days. And you can see that we have 7 sold or closed in the last 30 days. You have a variety here as well of everything from a 2-bedroom all the way up through 3 bedrooms, and a variety of number of baths, and 1 or 2 with a private pool. And the sold price per square footage, it varies from $290 per square feet all the way up through $437 per square feet. Now the interesting thing here, I always mention sold price per square foot, and you can see that it varies. And this always has to do with square footage, finishes, everything that it has to offer. For example, if it has a pool, a cage, outdoor kitchens are a huge draw for most people. Most people coming to Florida want that outdoor experience. So the more outdoor space you have that it extends your living area is usually a good thing. And then upgrades like tile flooring and the higher ceilings that we have here at Artistry are also a draw. Now that we looked at what's happening, here's what I'm seeing for November of 2025 market. And wait until I tell you what NAR and other economists are predicting for 2026. So for November, I'm seeing properties are definitely selling. We're getting a lot more activity in the market. Prices are still adjusting. So for those who bought for over 3 years ago, they're still seeing a profit on their homes. But for those of you who bought 2 years or less, unfortunately are selling for less than what they bought it for. Another thing that you have to keep in mind, when your home is listed, you do have to be patient because time to contract is a little bit longer than we were seeing in the past. Interest rates have come down, which has created slightly more buyer activity. And then we've also seen second home buyers, and out-of-state activity has definitely picked up, and that'll continue into the first quarter of next year. Now, what are NAR and the economists predicting for 2026? So NAR is predicting that the market is going to make what they call a comeback. With interest rates down and steady job growth, they're predicting sales to surge. So 2026 should be interesting. The economists are also saying the same thing. They're saying for Florida, they're seeing a lot of good things and more buyer activity. So when you're ready to put your home on the market, or if you know someone who would like to live here, contact me. It would be my honor to market your home or take care of your friends and family. I'll see you next time.